This is the story of the Odyssey. For 3 millennia, the account of Odysseus, king of Ithaca, has stood as the foundation of epic adventure. But before this journey becomes a legend, it is a desperate struggle for survival, beginning with a king who has run out of options. Inside the stone walls of an isolated palace, Odysseus holds his blade to the throat of the enchantress, Circe. Circe's magic, which has claimed every man before him, has failed. She realizes she is facing the first mortal capable of resisting her spells. The witch lowers her wand and surrenders. Odysseus does not lower his sword. He demands that every one of his men be restored to their human forms. As Circe signals her compliance, the silhouettes of swine begin to shift and expand. The magic recedes, leaving Greek warriors standing where beasts once wallowed. The men are physically broken and shaking, but they are human again. They embrace in the center of the hall, convinced the nightmare has ended. With the immediate threat of the wand removed, the tension in the palace evaporates. The crew celebrates their survival, unaware that the danger has merely changed its form. The environment shifts from a place of fear to a sanctuary of luxury. Circe, now an ally, opens her doors to the exhausted crew. She offers them warm beds and a constant supply of rich food. For the first time since leaving the ruins of Troy, there are no storms to weather and no monsters to fight. After years of violence and loss, the men are tired. The sudden silence of the palace is more disarming than any weapon Circe possessed. This comfort creates a new kind of risk. Every day spent in safety is a day the men stop looking toward the horizon of Ithaca. In the absence of struggle, time loses its meaning. Days fade into weeks, and the weeks turn into months. An entire year passes in a blur of feasting and sleep before any member of the crew realizes how much of their lives have vanished. The haze finally breaks for Odysseus as he stands alone on a cliffside. He looks out over the dark water, away from the warmth of the palace. He remembers Penelope, who has spent 20 years managing a kingdom alone, and Telemachus, a son who has reached manhood without ever knowing his father's face. Reclaiming his sense of duty, Odysseus returns to the hall and informs Circe that they will stay no longer. Odysseus demonstrates that a leader's willpower is tested by the temptation of a peaceful life, just as severely as it is by the horrors of the battlefield. Circe does not resist his departure. Instead, she offers a warning that makes the previous year of peace feel like a final mercy. To find the route that leads home, Odysseus must cross a threshold that is forbidden to the living. He is commanded to sail to the Underworld to find the spirit of the blind prophet, Tiresias. The journey has moved beyond the physical world. To save his men and reach his throne, Odysseus must now pay a toll in the kingdom of the dead. The crew, who moments ago were lulled by luxury, are now paralyzed by the magnitude of the horror Circe has described. At dawn, the men launch their ship into a cold black mist. They are beginning the most harrowing voyage any mortal has ever attempted. The gates of the underworld are ahead. Historical record suggests that those who enter the land of the dead rarely find their way back to the light. To be continued in Part 9. Next part, Calypso's Island, the goddess who refused to let Odysseus leave. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to History Stories Dose so you never miss the next chapter of history.